Hello, and welcome to Silicon Valley Girls Chat Over Tea. I'm Gloria.
And I'm Rosetta.
Hi.
Hello.
Yes. So we always like to set the tone. So, in the spirit of kindness, we want to always listen to one another and be compassionate to one another. So, Rosetta and I are here to give you a wonderful conversation. We want to give you some aha moments too.
Yes, and we're going to start off by the teas that we're drinking today. And my tea is, now this is bad because for some reason I had bought a box of teas and I took out all the teas and don't have the box. But but my tea I'm drinking is a Garden of the Andes, 100% organic, and the flavor is rosehip and hibiscus. And yeah, that's all it has on the packet. There it is, if you can see it. And
Yes.
I had it seeping away. So I'll do cheers to you and I'll drink it when
Cheers.
after Gloria. Well,
Yes.
actually, I'll drink it because I've done the cheers and Gloria will tell you what she's drinking.
And I'm drinking a tea by a company called Herbal Cup. It's Immunity with Superfoods elderberries. I'm always hearing about how elderberries are really, really good for us. This is a proprietary blend of elderberry fruits. Everything's organic. Echinacea whole plant parts, organic tulsi leaves, ginger root, hibiscus flower, and my girl's favorite, licorice root.
I
So,
knew it. I love it.
yes,
Love it.
yes. So,
And
well,
just to
anything
let you
that's
know
super.
that all our teas that we drink, every chat will be in the comments below. So if you're interested, it will have the name and the flavor.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Mm, that's yummy. So, as we always start our chats, our thoughts and prayers go out to the universe because Rosetta and I believe we really have to learn how to love one another. And if you are in a open, loving, compassionate space, come with us on this journey. And we know you will see our focus of love and compassion. So, let's get started. Today is National Sloppy Joe Day. When I was a kid, at least once a week or every couple of weeks, we would have Sloppy Joe sandwiches. Those were my fave. I haven't had one in years. So happy National Sloppy Joe Day.
And isn't sloppy Joe just minced beef? And then they put some seasonings and onions and tomato sauce, and you just put
And
it
it's a
into
red
a bun or
sauce.
something.
Yes, it's
And
a
it's
red
called
sauce.
sloppy Joe because it's just sloppy, right?
Well, they put more of the meaty dish than the bun. So when you
Okay.
pick it up to eat it, it just oozes out the sides.
Oh, okay. And not only is it Sloppy Joe Day today, it is also Lacy Oatmeal Cookie Day. Not just any old
Mm.
cookie or oatmeal cookie, it's lacy. And the reason being is that they are wafer thin cookies and they're usually accompanied with a scoop of ice cream. So that's how they're
Mm.
eaten. And in the early 1900s, if you didn't know, a recipe for the cookie appeared on the Quaker Oats box package.
Nice.
Yep. So if you've never tried it, look up lacy oatmeal because they're much thinner than oatmeal cookies. We also have birthdays today, March the 18th. It is Adam Levine's birthday, and he is a pop singer and he is the lead singer of Maroon 5. We also have Queen Latifah. She turns 56. She is a rapper and an actress. And we have Vanessa Williams, who turned 63. And if you know
Wow.
her, she's known for being Miss USA and also for her singing talents.
Yes. Yes.
So
She's
happy
done lots
birthday.
of movies.
Yes, she has.
Cool. All right. So we wanted to give you a brief update on Nancy Guthrie, who is Savannah Guthrie's mom. As you know, she's been missing for weeks. The family, probably about 2, maybe 3 weeks ago, came out with a family reward of $1 million for information about what happened. I think a lot of it is the family just, how can you move on when you don't know what happened? Where is she? So the latest update is the FBI has found that even though they can't retrieve videos from the video cameras, they can retrieve still shots. So what they're doing is they're going through and they're pulling up these still shots to see if that will give them some more information. So the case is still active. They're still working it, and we don't know where she is. Leads are coming from California, Arizona, and New Mexico. So any one of those areas, not New Mexico, Colorado first, Colorado. So any of those areas that's around the where her mom lived, all the states on the sides are also trying to do what they can to help. So I can't imagine what that feels like for the family, but our thoughts and prayers are with you all.
Yeah, yeah, it's very sad. It's probably like over 40 days now that she's gone missing.
Yes.
All right, now we're going to turn to something that you may or may not have watched, and that is the Oscars, the Academy Awards. Did you watch it? If you
Yes.
haven't, then go ahead and watch it. But if you have, and what did you think of it? I really enjoyed it. And I'm not usually a big fan of Conan O'Brien's, but I think he did an amazing job as the host. And I always love how creative they are. I don't know if they have a team behind them to help them with the open monologue. So I
Yes.
thought that was really, really clever of them. And the Oscars seemed different this year because they did a lot of new things, or they didn't do things that they had done in the past. But overall, I really liked all the winners because Sinners. Have you watched Sinners? I know my friend Gloria there will be watching it. I
Yes,
keep
I
telling
will.
her, go ahead and watch it because you don't know how long it's going to be on Netflix for. They won 4 Oscars. Amazing. I loved the movie for Best Original Screenplay, Best Original Score, Best Cinematography, and Best Actor. And that was won by Michael B. Jordan playing 2 roles. Then we have One Battle After Another. They won 6 awards, which was the most, and they did beat out Sinners for Best Picture. They also won for Best Director, Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Supporting Actor won by Sean Penn, who was not present at the Oscars. And then you have Best Editing and Best Soundcasting Award. So I was really happy with that. Then we have Animated Feature was won by K-pop Demon Hunter. Then we have a very unusual win by 2 winners for the live action shorts. One of the awards went to a short called The Singers and Two People. And then the next award, which was a tie, went to Exchanging Saliva. I thought that was a funny name. I
I
have not
know.
seen it, so I don't know what it's about. But maybe I'll try and find it to figure out what the
What are
meaning
they
of the
talking
title
about?
was. Yeah, that was very odd. And I loved the fact that Barbara Streisand came on and she did a tribute to Robert Redford, who had passed away last year. And what I really loved is that she worked closely with him on many different movies, The Way We Were, and she told stories of how their interactions went along the times that they were acting together. And it was really nice to hear because it came from firsthand, it wasn't hearsay. And I love the fact that she said that he called her a name that she didn't think it really fitted her, but he called her Babs. And the very last message that she had written to Robert Redford, she had signed it, Love Babs. So I think that's just so nice when they have something so intimate that only 2 of them can understand is amazing. And what was the icing on the cake was her singing a little snippet from The Way We Were. I love it. Every time I hear Barbara Streisand's voice, I'm in awe. In awe. Is there's other things about this Oscar that I loved, but I'm going to turn it over to Gloria to see what she thought about it.
Okay, I agree with you. The opening was really good. I love Josh Groban. He is so funny. He has such a beautiful voice, and he could hold those notes. So I really like that. For me, Michael B. Jordan winning for Best Actor was just amazing. And as part of his acceptance speech, he talked about the shoulders that were there before him. He acknowledged Sidney Poitier, he acknowledged Denzel Washington, Jamie Foxx, Forrest Whitaker, Will Smith, and now himself. This was the first time that a first time nominee won the Oscar. I remember years watching Denzel being nominated again and again and again until he finally won for Fences. So, because when Denzel did Malcolm X, that to me was award winning because at a certain point I didn't see Denzel anymore. I saw Malcolm. That was amazing. Um, it was also amazing for Sinners that her name is Autumn Doral Akapa. Hopefully, I didn't mess it up too bad, sweetheart. She was the first woman to ever win an Oscar for cinematography. I thought that was just amazing. Ludwig Corazon won for Best Original Score, and he did like Black Panther. So, he knew what it was like to be a part of the celebration. In fact, he said that that was going to be the most difficult for him because when they are nominated, they do a lot of touring together and they get to know each other very well. So that was something that was, a little off for him. Um, I love Billy Crystal and his celebration of Rob Weiner and his wife. I think his wife's name was Michelle. That was very touching because I remember Rob Weiner from when he was called Meathead on All in the Family. And I just to see an actor go from acting to behind the scene and being such a creative force as he was, he did some amazing, amazing movies. I think he even did Pretty Woman with Julia Roberts. If you go back through his catalog of events and shows and movies, he did some great work. And like you said, talking about Robert Redford and the relationship that he had with Barbara Streisand, that was beautiful. One of the cute moments for me was Anne Hathaway and
And
I was going to say
Wintour.
Dame. I think that I don't know if she's an official Dame or it's just because she's so diva. And Wintour, they came out to do an award, and Anne asked Anna Wintour, what do you think about my dress? And she goes, the nominees are. I mean, it was so Devil Wears Prada. I cannot wait for
They were
Devil
so
Wears
in
Prada too.
character.
That was a good moment for me. And the fact that most of the characters of Devil Wears Prada are going to be coming back and reprising their roles. So that was also really good. So you want to talk fashion?
Yes, so I'm just going to point out very quickly that I found that, and I did get my research done, and I thought that this was it, but there were three big designers this year on the red carpet, and that was Louis Vuitton, Chanel, and
Chanel.
Christian Dior. And so
Yes.
many of the women wore Chanel.
The
Uh,
winners also wore Chanel.
yes, yes. Um, I loved Michael B. Jordan. I've always loved his style. He looked amazing in his black tux.
Yes.
Um, Tatiana Taylor, she wore Chanel. It was a black chiffon silver dress with feathers. A lot of the women, it was
Little
a theme
feathers.
going on with all the feathers. Um, Jessie Buckley, who won Best Actress, She wore the
Yes.
pink and red custom Chanel, and
Yes.
people said that it was like they referenced it to being like Grace Kelly. I thought
Yes.
it was very nice and very elegant.
Very
And
elegant.
some people may not agree with me, but I did like Demi Moore's dress. She wore the Gucci green and black dress with the feathers up above. It was strapless and she had the feathers and then the gradient of the green and it looked shiny and shimmery. I liked her in that one. And another guy was Shabuzi. I really liked his suit. And I was
Yes.
trying to figure out who made that suit for him because it was hard to find because when they interviewed him on the red carpet, they did not mention his
They
city.
didn't ask him.
They didn't ask him. So I did some research and it's a custom Campillo black suit. So they did a really good job. He looked amazing. I loved the uniqueness of his white blouse underneath that went up to his neck and the
Yes.
jewelry
And
he
the
wore with his
jewels.
watch. Yes, the jewels.
Yes.
And who else did I like? Oh, Anne Hathaway. I loved Anne Hathaway. She looked amazing in her Valentino gown,
Yes.
draped down all the way with the train, and it was floral, amazing, silky smooth gown. And I loved her hair and makeup. I loved her makeup. And
Yes.
one other one I'll point out who I really liked was Gwyneth Paltrow. Did you see
The
the thing that I was
sides.
looking at her was that she had what did she have? She had the split
Yeah.
in
Well, she had
her
the
back.
sides, remember?
Oh yes,
It
yes,
looked very plain looking straight on. And then she twisted a little bit and the seam went all the way down. You could see
yes.
all her skin.
And her face was glowing. There was something
Yes.
about this year's awards where all the women's faces looked so glowy with this really like dewy, glowy look. That's what I really like. So those were some of the ones that stood out to me. What about you, Gloria?
Everything that you just said. For me, I also loved Nicole Kidman. That was a I'm over you, we're divorced, I'm a single woman, and I'm ready to mingle. And like you said, it featured feathers, but I thought her dress was spectacular. I can't remember who the designer was. I had
Chanel,
it,
the
but
same as Tatiana Taylor with the
oh,
feathers again.
yes, yes. I thought it was Chanel, but I wasn't 100%. And the what do you call him? He is her designer. His name is La Roche. Everything that Zendaya wears, La Roche has something to
Zendaya?
do with. Hmm?
Zendaya or Nicole Kidman?
No, Zendaya. I've moved on.
Oh, you've moved on
Zendaya,
to Zendaya.
yes. Yes, Zendaya had on this beautiful brown dress and it was kind of off the shoulder. She sported a new short
I love
haircut.
her hair.
I mean, she just looked like a breath of fresh air as she just walked into the room. I thought she was just magnificent.
Stunning.
Um, I can't remember her name. I'm just going to kind of talk about it. She was 9 months pregnant and she wore the crystal. Um, my brain is saying Louis Vuitton, but I'm not 100%. She's 9 months pregnant. She was in Sinners and she looked
Oh yeah, I
amazing.
can't remember, but she wore the green
The
dress.
green, yes, yes, her. She was amazing. I think that's those are the ones that stood out the most for me. Tatiana and her feathers. I mean, for Chanel to make the dress with the feathers and then the feathers lay down and as they walked, they just glided. You know, it wasn't like, oh, feathers. They weren't spinning feathers or anything like that. So Chanel stole the night because most of the female winners were wearing Chanel. And they said that was the first time in like a decade that Chanel ruled the night.
Very good. And I loved, just to top it off, it was a great night, but also they did the great musical edition for Sinners, and they also did
Yes,
K-pop Demon Hunters. The three ladies came on and sung Golden,
yes.
which was amazing. I loved
And
that.
the people in the audience had the little lanterns and they were all into the
Yeah.
beat of Golden. So that was good. And with Sinners, that was trying to think of the name of, what was it? Oh, I Lied to You was the name of the song. And Misty Copeland, the ballerina, appeared. No one was expecting her, and she just became a part of the process. Everything was beautiful. Shabuki, nobody expected him. So people were moving in and out of the Sinners performance, and they only did two, Sinners, and they did the one with
K-pop
Missy
Demon
Cope.
Hunters.
Yes, that was it.
Very good. And if you had anything to say, have anything to say about the Oscars and who you thought was the best dressed, comment below. We'd like to hear.
Absolutely. So, as we started off the beginning of March, we told you it was National Women's History Month. The month is focused on encouraging the study, the observation, the celebration of women and their roles in history that covers diverse fields like science, politics, and social justice. Recognizing International Women's Day is to celebrate women's social, economic, cultural, and political teams while raising awareness and calling for accelerated actions toward equality and women's rights. So, just to give you kind of a flavor, I thought about some women that are historical. Coretta Scott King, after her husband passed away, he was assassinated in, what was that, I think it was like 1968. She created the Martin Luther King Jr. Center for Nonviolent Social Change. And that was her stepping in to keep the momentum going, to keep everyone focused that we can do this, we can change the world working together. Sandra O'Connor is another woman who is still alive today, and she's a lawyer, an accelerated judge, and she was the first female justice on the Supreme Court from 1981 to 2006. This is just a little snippet. If you want to know more, please go to Google, go to whatever search engines that you use, and just look at National History Month March and see all the accolades that come up.
Yep. All right. I do have another one for National History Month, but we will save that for next time.
Oh,
Uh,
you sure?
yeah, we will save it for next time because we just want to highlight just a couple each week. So,
Oh,
next,
okay.
what I want to talk about is we have talked about this a lot, and it's about the GLP-1, whether it's the shots. Now we have the pills. Now we have droplets. There's so many companies coming out with different kinds of GLP-1. And what happens is when you lose the weight, you're also losing lean muscle mass. So that's really important to understand. When you are on these shots or medication, whatever form of GLP-1, remember, you're not just taking it to lose the weight. Remember, you have to do yourself justice, and you have to also make sure that you're also eating enough protein to keep all that muscle mass. Now, with the new dietary guidelines, they suggest more protein. And with that new nutrition um, recommendations that came out with RFK Jr., he recommends to increase your intake of protein. And I believe it's 8 grams per kilogram a day of body weight. And now you're upping it to 1.2 to 1 or 1.6 kilograms per day. And the daily protein needs, I'm going to talk about this. Women, you need about 70 to 90 grams per day. Men, 80 to 100 grams per day. Kids age 4 to 8, 19 grams per day. And teens, 9 to 13, 34 grams a day. But you have to be careful because there are some exceptions. And one of the exceptions is anyone that has any chronic kidney disease. There's a warning because it can increase the kidney problems you're having if you eat too much protein. It could also cause gastrointestinal stress and dehydration. So just be careful if you have any kind of kidney disease or kidney like kidney related illnesses. And some examples of protein that you can add, which are healthy, we want whole food protein, which is real food, is things like tofu, beans, legumes, nuts, seeds, fish, lean chicken, lean turkey, probably like Greek yogurt. Just make sure that you're eating whole foods because I know a lot of processed foods or a lot of not as healthier options like Kraft's mac and cheese and Doritos are now coming up with higher percentage of protein. But that doesn't mean it's healthy for you because you have to look at the other ingredients they have there. What other processed ingredients do they have in there? Just because they've raised their protein count, grams, per package, that doesn't mean that it's healthy for you. So whole foods is very important, and just the weight loss, make sure that you're working on your muscle loss as well. You want to make sure you're eating healthier so that you understand how to be healthy while you're doing this and not just losing the weight.
That's very true. And like Rosetta said, um, we've had people call it Ozempic face, where people start to show significant changes to their face. It's also very important that you always hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Take care of your skin. It's also important that, right now where we are, there's lots of sun. So it's really key to not just drop weight, look at the total picture. And while we've seen lots of people shift their look, we just want to make sure that everyone's doing it in a healthy, healthy fashion. So even if you are on these GL1-P shots, as an example, Oprah was on the shots. She thought she could get off. She's eating healthy. She's hiking 5 miles a day, and it didn't work. So she had to, modify and go back and make changes to her diet regimen. And that's what we want you all to do. Just be aware, because what is that old saying? If it looks too good, it's probably not as good as you think. So do your due diligence, talk to someone like Rosetta, who is a certified coach who can teach you how to eat the best foods for your lifestyle. She's great at that. So that's something we want you all to know. As I almost shared and I caught myself, I'm like, ugh, we are experiencing pretty severe weather patterns again. And it's, if you imagine, the mid to east coast is freezing. They're having rain, they're having high winds, they're having tornadoes, they're having snow. It's pretty chaotic and it's moving from mid to the east coast. On Monday, just as an example, there were blizzards. I mean, this one gentleman, he said he had lived in Minnesota his whole life, and he had never seen the rate of the snow and the volume of the snow. There was also Wisconsin, South Dakota, North Dakota. The and they show people. Why would you go outside? I don't know. Yet they show people slamming into snow stacks and showing people in front of their homes digging their car. If I have to go outside to dig the car out, I don't think I should get in the car and go anywhere. I think I should stay as stable as I can. So all of that's going on. We've noticed that on Monday, this affects travel because if you can't get out, then you can't get on the roads. Well, airplanes have to kind of get on the road before they get in the air. So on Monday, 2,600 flights were canceled and 2,800 flights were delayed. So before, you would just go to the airport, you have to get there an hour early and then you get on your flight. Now you can get there 4 hours early and the flight can be canceled or delayed. So if you don't need to travel right now, you might like go back and, just kind of second guess, is this something you want to do? Now, while the mid to East Coast is doing that, here in good old northern Southern California, we're having heat waves. So we are going through, it started out in the 80s, and yesterday we hit the 90s, and it's going to keep going at least until Friday, where we're going to increasingly get warmer. The thing is, we don't normally have 80s and 90s in March. Spring does not start until March 20th, and that's on Friday. So we're already ahead of the curve doing things that we don't normally do. Our suggestion for everyone is to just be careful, know where you're going, know where what the travel looks like so you can be safe. And it's very, very important that if you, especially with tornadoes, because you see the black clouds, but there's severe wind with those clouds. So please, please be careful. If you don't have to go out, don't go out. Allow this to pass. And then we also have the shutdown with the TSA officers. So when you get to the airport, you can still experience delays and long lines. I've seen the long lines. I have no desire to go to an airport right
And the
now.
TSA attendants are not getting paid again.
Right. And they haven't been paid for a month.
Yeah,
So now they're starting to call in sick because they have to go and find another job to take care of their family. So they don't get vouchers, they don't get anything to subsidize their family lives while they're going through this. And landlords are like, yeah, I like you, but I still need my rent.
crazy, crazy.
Yeah. So once again, we've had a lovely, lovely conversation. Rosetta, did I forget anything?
No, I think that's all we were going to talk about.
All right, we're early. We got lots of time left. But we also wanted to thank you all for hanging in with us. If there's ever a topic you want us to discuss, please let us know. Put it in the chat. We want you to know that we're grateful for your time and your participation. We feel the love and we send it back to you all, bubbling over.
Wherever you are watching from.
Yes.
Yes, thank you so much. And if you did like this chat, how about we ask if you could kindly hit that thumb icon, subscribe to our channel if you haven't, because that helps our algorithms, and hit the bell notification so you don't miss any of those chats. You'll be the first to be notified when our chats are ready to be viewed. We thank you so much and hope you all had a great St. Patrick's Day yesterday. Forgot to
Yes,
mention that I had corned beef and cabbage yesterday.
absolutely.
Yeah. And we are Silicon Valley Girls Chat over tea. And
And
remember
remember
to
to
always
always keep
keep smiling.
smiling.
Take care now.
Bye.
Bye bye.